Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero Psych, Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on Kholodny Ferma. Between these, we got Brosras, fighting for America, freedom and democracy, taking on North here with the 1st Infantry Division. Versus in the west, we got Karl, fighting for Germany, Deutschland, taking on the role here of the 116th Panzer Division, Winhund, with fortification, special operations, scavenge, trip, double infantry, Obersoldaten versus recon support, infantry company, and tactical support here with double infantry ration bulletin there for Brosras, who is going in fact here for a double ration start and languages, so seize more territory faster. Aggressively, though, of course, it does mean he won't be able to fight nearly as good as it, but again, if he just sees it fast enough, then follow up the rifle and secure the vital points, he can just, get away with it reasonably easily. As for Karl, we got a more conservative, get a bunch of Volksgrenadiers out here, no additional Sturmpaniers, leading us in the early game, though there has been an increase in Oberkommand West players who go for more than one Sturmpanier squad as of late. Bit of barbed wire here, though he's interested enough for not wiring at this specific bit. Apparently he's more concerned just keeping the opponent out of the heavy cover rather than the light cover. And there you go, right from those Sturmpaniers, first shots fired. Shots being delivered with rapid aggression. There you go, first blood. Sturmpanier down, a Ludwig followed by Jürgen, and finally Karl. So some heavy damage being done there. Riflemen pushing back the Sturmpaniers, putting good engagement there for Brosras. Not the best movement there for Karl, and Brosras was able to punish it quite aggressively. Second rifle squad there, though, on the way he's pulling back. They were trying to support, but it's too late, even further delaying the cease of his fuel point. Meanwhile, the two resistance squads are just sweeping through the south, wiring off things, and just preparing the battlefield for any engagement down south from Karl. Almost got the point there. We go. Third full squad on the way there for Karl and the German army. Sam is being set up here to help defend, though for some reason the full squads are moving about off the point. And I don't think Karl is actually aware of this. Karl, you're on the wrong side of the point. Oh dear, that was a bit awkward. Look, I mean, you can see what he's doing. It's just apparently the folks for some reason decided, despite being on the point, they'd walk on the other side of it. But also following up with the mortar, we got double rifle and double resistance and a mortar. That's definitely a less than usual American start there from. But also got the resistance firing against the folks. We've got M1 carbines versus Volksgrenadier. The carbine was apparently sort of mixed popularity. Some apparently liked it, but others actually did not like it at all. Preferred replacing it with other weapons like the M3 grease gun, as it were, due to the carbine's lack of stopping power. So a little fun fact there. Apparently it was mostly just American squad leaders who were sort of meant to be issued with a carbine, but they preferred something with a bit more punch, opting nicely for the grease gun. Here's something about here. We got the truck out there for Karl. Bit of fun around here. Sturmpaniers as Reichslands. Again, not the best attack pattern here from Karl. Allowing him to get a lot of damage in against the Sturmpanier. We also got mortar fire going off here. Hitting the cuff point though there with the Volksgrenadiers, laying down sandbags as well, prepared to hold it if necessary. We got the second resistance squad versus the Volksgrenadiers. This time the Reichslands might have a better chance here with the carbines up close against depleted Volksgrenadiers. So overall, Karl is struggling a bit here versus Brosras. Not necessarily finding the always best engagement. This should assist him a bit. And there you go, finally seeing that rifle squad running away. Back here, there'll be a battle group headquarters up for Karl and the German army here. The 116th Panzer Division Winhund and mortar hammering away there. We got Fultz versus Riflemen pushing them back. And back here, Brosras aiming for the captain and stewards. So it decreases the chance of him going for recon support, as most players who go for recon support tend to want to go for the return. That way they can sort of, use the Greyhound and sort of anti-tank to make up for the things they don't get from the company command post. So infantry company tactical support at this stage I think seems more likely, though who knows. But also this could be an innovator and just decide he wants double the light vehicular tank action there. Battle group headquarters almost done there for Karl, but still taking a bit of a while there. Neither side has yet to commit to a doctrine. And we can see here that Brosras is being pushed back a bit by Karl, partly due against the resistance there, but still they're just allowing him to see so much, he sort of makes up for it. And Karl, though, making good use of the Volksgrenadiers to harass here Brosras' resources, trying to slow down his fuel income. Very good work there. Against that being pushed back by the Volksgrenadiers. Ambulance on the way for Brosras to provide healthcare and, most importantly, some way of getting the bullets out of their asses. Reichslands versus Volksgrenadiers again, bit depleted. Brosras there pushing his Reichslands beyond the limits. He's just hoping to get lucky there, imagine, but in this case, no luck. Only Germany. Deutschland. And there we go, got the mortar hammering away there, trying to take out some Sturmpanier. But there we go, got Volksgrenadiers moving from the south. Schnell! Feuer frei! And there you go, Raffin's been taken out, but the Sturm Pioneers closer to getting a wipe, and he gets the wipe. A small tactical edge here for Karl in the early game. Getting a full wipe on the Raffen is pretty big, though he needs to be careful he doesn't lose the Sturm Pioneers, as that would rather, I think, offset any gains he made there. Brosras, though, is still not really showing indication here of doctrines. He's got to be some time off there from the Stewart due to the aggressive harassment from Karl on the fuel point. And again, very solid job there. Haha, they cut him off with the fuel. Now they can't get their panzers. Yeah, that's nice. But what about the guys with the rifles? Well, I guess we try shooting them. Yeah. Sturm Pioneers there reinforcing, healing up. No sign of machine guns or assault rifles, at least so far here. From Karl, we got the rifle there harassing, cutting off, basically trying to return the favour. Though without the central victory point, he can't really do it efficiently. We also got the MG4 coming up here. In the south, though, Karl basically to an extent trying to outdo Brosras, basically ensuring even gets cut off. He's going to get the south resource anyways, allowing you Karl to roll ahead in terms of resource. It might also make him more likely to push for a Flak half-track here to sort of put more pressure on Brosras' infantry. But you could, I suppose, force Brosras to consider airdrop combat group made with recon support to get an anti-tank out. Then again, you could just go for a regular one. And meanwhile, though, he's going for more riflemen. More riflemen. Racing here versus the Volkskandidates. MG34 moving in as well. Almost got the southern fuel connected. Almost, but not quite here. We got mortar captain pulling southwards. There we go. Flak half track for Karl and the German army. Things are there. Almost being cleared out. And captain pulling against the Volkskandidates. The Sturm Pioneers moving down. Quick incendiary grenade. Burning up the Yankees. And if there's some pattern you can hear against what sounds like a glass door, that's the cat, which has been gone for like 4 to 5 days, finally got back and now wants to get out of sight again. So I'm letting it stay in sight for a bit, the Rasputin. That does mean there might be a bit of, you know, knocking about there. So my apologies if you can hear it or if it is too disruptive. Sturm Pioneers Slovakia, 2 getting some good kills in there for the fatherland, defending the fuel point, at least more importantly, keeping it out of America's hands. For now, Flak half-tech almost down there for Karl. And there you go, counter-attack from Brosras. A lot of rifle there, supervised by the captain. Come on, guys, it's just a bunch of krauts. Kill them! But they got these shooty bang bang assault rifles. God damn it, you got your own shooty bang bang semi-autos. Just shooty bang bang harder. How? Just do it. Quick incendiary grenade there. Making it hard here for Brosras to push against the Volkskandidates. Good work there by Karl. Very nice throw, but we got the rifle still pushing ahead here. Not quite caring about it. Maybe they remember their asbestos underwear. Meanwhile, MG14 with the reactions there. Up north, taking the northern victory point. Volkskandidates move out. And he's actually going for not just a Flak half-track, but ultimately 2 MG34s, adding in a lot of suppressive firepower here versus Brosras' troops. So Brosras can actually soon go for a Stuart light tank. In which case I'd recommend him pulling back the captain as well to supervise the production to get out faster to counter the Flak half-track here from Karl, the 251-17. Up north, grabbing the point here. Troops setting out there. Sturm Pioniere, Volkskandidates. No sign of upgrades here yet, and still no sign of doctrine from either side. We got double mortars out here from Brosras. Double mortars in general has, I think, caught on with a lot of players as an overall useful tactic, no matter the army. Get a pair of mortars out and you can lay down some pretty thick covering fire, just to make things very unhealthy for enemy infantry. Very unhealthy. And there you go, cat stops for now. Pattering away at the door. You can hit it pretty hard though. At one point there was time you hit it so hard I thought it was someone outside knocking on the door, and I'm not talking a cat but an actual human being. There's nothing pushed back and got the Flak half time. There's 2 centimeter Flak cannon. Rifleman moving in there, go caught as they're vaulting over the fence. A rather terrible feat of gymnastics, which unsurprisingly results in heavy casualties. There you go, mortars now under fire here. Flak half time going to jump on as well there. Small chance. Oh, he could at least get one of the mortars there. That'd be certainly pretty big here for Karl. If he steals that, would mean he'd have a slight bit of artillery here versus a Brosras. But there you go, got the Steward up. Did he actually use the camp supervise? Maybe, maybe not. All the way, though, gets a bit too close, Pantherfausted. But the Steward is on the job here for America. Can't quite get to the mortar there, though. We'll have to retreat. We got Panther on the way for the Sturm Pioneer, but they will also have to retreat. In fact, right now, before they get wiped, we got a bazooka up there and the captain to help deal with the flak half-track. But sadly, the bazooka is not some kind of magical charm that protects you against fire from it, so they get suppressed pretty rapidly. And there you go, mortuary captured for America. And the South Force is pushing ahead here, going to try and find. He moves with the flak half-track ahead again, being pretty confident the Stuart's not going to be an immediate threat. He pulls out with the flak half-track. Pretty bold here by Karl, but doesn't work out. Captain immediately pinned again and quickly suffering further losses. But there you go. Stuart rolling ahead, needs to pop smoke. Kednev opening up. Almost lost it. Scheiße, pop smoke there, possibly at the right time. Empty fed for covering though. And the South Force getting hammered over mortar fire, and the Stuart looks like he's going to try and make an escape here. Not going to try and, mess about here when there's a Kednev hiding somewhere around the smoke. That was pretty close there for both sides. Pretty close. But overall, Karl here doing a very good piece of work. They're keeping Brosras off the fuel, and more importantly, getting a lot of it himself. He could actually soon consider taking up here for the schwer punted quarters and pull ahead for medium armour. Mortar crew there pinned to the ground. Brosras remains short on doctrines, or doctoral choices specifically. And there you go, tech for Karl and the German Panzerwaffe, the 116th Panzerdivision. Hard at work on the flak half track. And for Brosras and the 1st Infantry, there we go. We got recon support. Interesting choices. He got stood out. I mean, he could go for the Pathfinders, the paratroopers, as opposed to cluster bombs, but the Greyhound, it does overlap and clash a bit with the Stuart in some ways. But the Greyhound does have a bit better anti-infantry as opposed to working together. It's also a bit cheaper on fuel. Still, it's definitely not what you typically see from a recon support choice. Definitely atypical, and of course the atypical can be interesting as it allows us to study, what happened in these situations, how effective can it be. I mean, you never know what might actually happen when you make some of the more atypical choices, which is important occasionally to just go off the beaten track and try out something else. Hitting the northern point here with the rifleman, hitting the victory point as well. We can see now Brosras getting much more aggressive and confident. He does go for a Greyhound here. I mean, it does have the advantage, he doesn't have to build it, and it does have more anti-infantry with the pin of 50 caliber and the canister shots, but still, you don't see a lot of Greyhounds from people who go for the company command post and Stuarts. Oh, we're moving in here, sweeping up out. 50 caliber almost done. Stuart heavily damaged. Mortar being pushed back by full grenadiers as Karl launches another assault. And there you go. Brosras Greyhound moving in there. Straight for the flak half track. Shoots. Gets a decent hit there on the flak half track, which returns fire pretty aggressively on the Greyhound armoured car. Was used for reconnaissance. In fact, took over the reconnaissance role from the Stuart light tank, and the Stuart was sort of more moved towards infantry support. That's a fun fact. Greyhound there falling back. Captain pulling ahead. Up north here, fuel point cut off there, so for once Brosras is now the one harassing Karl and denying him fuel, though Karl still has a fat fuel lead, and there he goes, going for some hardened Obersoldaten. No sign of doctrine here from Karl though, no sign of a doctrine, fixing up the Greyhound. Stuart's heading out there for freedom and democracy. Alright John, I need you to keep an eye out for any Krauts with their rockets. There you go. John spotted it and quickly outmaneuvered the Kednev there, which is quick to turn around there. Gets a decent hit, but of course there's the schwer punted quarters now, the Sturm Pioneers, and of course the flak half track, which is actually very close there to Veterancy 2. Greyhound then moves it, and there you go. A rather gratuitous canister shot there takes out the Kednev crew and several Sturm Pioneers as well. They're getting 4 kills in one hit and gaining Veterancy 1 there. That's a pretty good shot there from Brosras. That is a pretty good shot. Now all of a sudden they're finding themselves on the fire from the ground as it continues to just lay down volumes. Fine, there you go, gaining another kill, halfway to 52. All of a sudden might want to retreat. There we go, down to 2 men. And we got Einar Pathfinders on here for Brosras. Suddenly he's putting a lot of pressure here on the doctrine against his opponent. And there you go, Panzerwaffe from the ground, need to fall back here though. I suppose he could try and bait him into another canister shot here. Yeah, don't worry, Otto, say can only fire from like once every hour, I heard. Are you sure? Yeah, just step away a bit from me, in case I'm wrong. And we go, Veterans on the Greyhound already quickly, hitting the high levels of Veteran. That is some pretty fast experience gain there. But has a damage in. We got the Stuart moving in. Here's a Brosras so far, sticking to cavalry tactics here with lighter vehicles. Fultz moving here straight into the front of the vehicle. He's popped a resistance squad into the Stuart. That's a interesting choice there. Guess we're tankmen now. Yeah, finally. I hated being a cook. Troops are reinforcing. Ground running past the MD-34 there, firing through the windows and the walls. Stuart here, they need to fall back for repairs. Pretty damaged. We've got the unarmed Pathfinders forming ahead there. I think he's going to try and call in an artillery strike on the Schwerpanzer quarters, though, with that much fire being laid down on them. They're not going to make it. In fact, they're going to get wiped, meaning Brosras just threw away about 250 manpower. That was not the best. Whoa, snap! Looks like a misclick happened there. And he lost a mortar. That is pretty bad for Brosras. That's a mortar. And a... Stuart as well. Oh, good lord. That is a critical series of losses there for Brosras and the 1st Infantry. That's going to be a bit hard to come back from. I mean, he was really sort of spinning ahead, and now I think he got a bit too confident here versus Karl due to his, light vehicle superiority and got punished. I mean, he's got 2 Greyhounds now, and 2 Greyhounds can still do a lot there versus the Infantry, but still, losing this Stuart, a Pathfinder squad he just called in, and a mortar to the enemy, that's going to cost. Karl can in fact pull in for a Panzer IV. So Brosras might just left himself in a bit of a sticky situation. Fine cannon shot in through the house. That's an interesting choice. It doesn't do a lot except damaging the building. So that's good to know, I suppose. Ground though from the north, hitting the fuel point again. We see now that Brosras, despite all of these losses, able to force back his opponent. There we go. He's using raid tactics allowing his vehicle to quickly seize territory there and denies the opponent more resources. Very good here. Brosras definitely feeling more confident despite these losses. Very good. Displays solid mental fortitude in the face of unexpected enemy resistance. Something like that. Anti-tank following up here. Brosras clearly though aware that he's going to get hit by tanks, and also he's clearly aware that his Greyhounds is at most going to act like a stopgap or a doorstop for the tanks, the Panzers. Still, his Greyhounds are having an impact here on Karl quite a bit there. One is already close to victory 3. We got cluster bombs being laid down here. The M83 cluster bombs were a direct copy of the German butterfly bombs, which is why they look exactly the same. By the way, the Americans just straight up copied the German butterfly bombs. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Got an M1 anti-tank out here for Brosras. And there you go, veteran 3 for the Greyhound, an ace reconnaissance crew. They have seen many things. And shot even more. And there you go, Flak half-tracks into double Greyhounds here. Suffering quite a bit there from the 50 calibers and the 13 with the main guns. Brosras there certainly rather than control the battlefield by now. Ooh, Panzerfaust, a bit of flak fire there, but looks like the Greyhound will still be able to escape here. The clutches of the Wehrmacht. In the centre we got the M1 there being pulled up to lay down its sights. We got a rifle squad here protecting against any sudden harassment, but without weapons or grenades, they're going to struggle a bit against any sort of concerted effort here from Karl. And there you go, being swarmed by Volksgrenadiers. Also, fun fact, the German 116th Panzer Division Windhund means Greyhound. So we'll see what happens here. No tech up yet though for Brosras. He definitely needs to pull up for some armor soon, and he would still benefit from some weapon acts or at least some mines from his vehicles. There you go, Steel Impulse gets straight into the ground, so taking heavy fire there, down to half health. Flak half taking a few hits, halfway to veteran 3. That's pretty good. In the south, though, the way is open as Karl's forces kick the door in with them. Well, not jackboots actually. The jackboots have by then been phased out. Instead, they just used boots with sort of a canvas covering around the ankles. Fun fact. In fact, Volksgrenadier uniforms were a bit of a mishmash of different bits. Their rolls are usually made of rather low quality material. Apparently, some of them didn't even handle rain very well. So, a few fun facts there. There you go, Volksgrenadier being hammered by both Greyhounds. Cannon shots fired, missing though, but still, that's going to force retreat. It's not going to try and linger around for a Panzerfaust attempt. There we go, that's a chance of wipe here, chance of wipe. Second Greyhound now, also veteran 2, increasing that one's lethality. Jürgen runs and he makes it. Close though, but he makes it. But Karl and the 116th Panzer Division pulling up Panzer IV here, and the Major's rifle Brosras. I mean, I guess with double Greyhound, he's more likely just to pull for Jackson, since he's going to need to focus more on the tanks, whereas the Greyhounds can keep infantry at bay, splatting them out with counter shots, just, well, prolific firepower. Of course, they won't be able to deal with any tanks. But I mean, so far it's actually used almost the entire doctrine. The only thing it hasn't used is an airdrop combat group. So, I mean, that's pretty good. Well, comparatively, Karl is sort of yet to sort of display anything. Got the M1 opening up in the Panzer IV, landing a decent hit. There we go. Bazooka fire and tank gun fire, pushing back the Panzer IV there. Sturm party to get to work on it. We got Northwoods here. The Volkskriegs there opening up with a mortar of their own. Pilfered from American stocks. There go ahead on the assault into the Greyhounds. Unsurprisingly, the assault is not pretty for the Volkskriegs, though. At the same time, the way he set up the Greyhounds, they actually make it harder for the anti-tank to get away there, so it quickly gets swiped. Less good there for Brosras. He could consider a artillery strike or a cluster bomb. There you go. Goes for both, I think. But in this case, it's too late, and the anti-tank is going to get destroyed or pushed back. But there you go. It does force away here the Panzer IV, though the Volkskriegs still make it hard for him to grab it back. Got the Greyhounds almost taking it out. Anti-tank at number 2 on the way, and there you go. Gets a full wipe on the Volkskriegs. Got 22 kills on that Greyhound. That is pretty amazing. I mean, the Greyhound certainly displays here why it is so popular with a lot of players as of late. Like, it can be really good if it get utilized well, because it packs a lot of anti-infantry firepower. Anti-tank and then number 2 done. There's going to be some time before Brosras though can aim for an anti-tank in here versus Karl, who remains doctrineless. I mean, doctrine, you could probably go for special operations here, maybe scavenge. Fortification could also work. Pack 53s, mines, bunkers. Several options here for Karl to consider. Correct here, they're almost losing the Greyhound here to the Panzer IV. In the south, we got vehicle crew just standing about there. Certainly seems to be focusing more on the centre, which I think is a mistake. He needs to put more pressure in the north as well. That we can see that Karl is reasonably well dug in. They of course can lay down smoke screens, but rather than just focus on the centre, he needs to try and attack elsewhere, because it is allowing Karl just to focus his firepower more easily. And the thing is, the Greyhounds aren't tanks. They're not exactly good at this, attacking head-on into panzer business. So I mean, even if he can bait the Panzer onto the anti-tank gun, I mean, he's not going to make an awful lot of progress with these kind of tactics. So I definitely think Brosras needs to consider another angle of attack, and either one attacking from the north or someone attacking from the south here as well. Got the Ops one there with the Vetchny 2 and the LMG 34. Graham moving ahead again. Pushing the Volkskriegs back. Second Kenref almost down there for Karl. And the 116th Panzer Division Winhund. Oberstland moving ahead. Got some mines down here, but actually from Brosras to catch any German vehicles. Good. Got the MG holding incendiary piercing rounds, pushing back some of the rear stands. But the Oberstland should be easy prey for the Greyhound, and could get off a lucky great cancer shot. They could actually wipe them, which would certainly put a bit of nasty pressure. And there you go. Almost got the MG-34. Both of those being pushed back here. We got 25 kills for the Greyhound. 26 wipes the MG-34 in the south, though. We got the Greyhound moving in against the Obersoldaten. Almost Vetchy free there, pushing them back. And we got Raid, Tactical Arm to quickly seize territory there. Though he is still not putting a lot of pressure in the north. He is going for a Jackson tank destroyer, though. He is going for it. So there we go, 11 kills, and he's using the Greyhound here to quickly seize territory. Of course, got the Kednev opening up. He needs to fall back with the Greyhound now. They almost went to the point neutral, but not enough. Not enough. I certainly would be ashamed to throw away a Vetchny 3 Greyhound like this, as that is definitely being very helpful in dealing with Karl's infantry. And that Flak, after they're moving in, finally bit back in action. Vetchny 3 is seconds away here, or just a few shots away. An anti-tank gun there rebuffs it. Panzer rushing northward straight into the mines there. Sadly, there's no one to take advantage of it. Ach mein Gott, what is the Americans for about here? So food? It's terrible. Just reinforcing, rifling northwards. Need to get the ground going again. Panzer fighting southwards. So Karl has stabilised a bit there after Brosras sort of, well, rather aggressive surge. Sadly wasn't able to hold on to the ground he managed to gain. There you go, full on fire here. They're going straight forward. Cancer shot as well on the bunch up troops. Does a lot of damage, but no actual kills to the main gun force. There you go. Panzer IV there versus the Jackson. Victory to the game, but still a lot of damage being inflicted by the Jackson on the Panzer IV with its 19mm gun. Same as used by the Pershing, by the way. In the centre, we got a push in. Finally, we also got action up north. We got the Flak half tank being willing to deal with that. That gets a bit too close, perhaps. So in this case, he is fortunate that Brosras has nothing to follow up with. He doesn't have munitions because he went for cluster bombs in the centre. Right here. Oh dear. Full gun retreat right through it. Takes a few man losses, but nothing too damaging, it seems. That was a bit lucky there by Karl. Bit lucky. Also on their half 8 of H-23. And another mortar for Brosras. Just bringing up the artillery levels again here to further try and push Karl into submission. Karl though remains without a doctrine, going for a second Panzer IV here. Really, I mean, at this stage, I mean, there's not really a lot of the doctrine can do for him, and that can be a bit of the issue with some of the Oberkommandier's doctrines. They're sort of a bit specific. They don't tend to offer the Nazi society always the biggest offerings in terms of support, unless like you go for something like Fostering, which I guess gets him some, but there's just none of that. So I don't know. I mean, part of me seems to go. I mean, he could go for fortifications, I guess, but it's not like they're going to offer him any immediate benefits. In part because Brosras isn't really forcing it. Again, he's just focusing so much in the centre and forcing all his resources. It's not particularly difficult for Karl to sort of deal with them. I mean, again, the north is sort of just, I mean, very secure in a sense. It's practically the battlefront. And again, you don't want to give your opponent a battlefront at all. Yet that is basically what Brosras achieved to give Karl, but just not hitting him in the north. Almost got the anti-tank, and then in this case they failed to use take aim. I think a tactical misstep there, which allows Karl to pull back his Panzer IV without any issues. We've got the Ken moving up. There go Graham moving in. Veteran free there. And going for a counter shot. Fulters out in the open here. 31 kills there. Jagdpanzer almost done there. Mortar wiped out here by Obersoldaten. Both Grahams by now, veteran 32 and 12 kills. Rushing in here as through the gaps of Karl's lines, and there you go. Cancer shot on the grey. Ketnev, there you go. Wipes it. Ground almost down, but looks like it's going to make it. He needs to fall back though. Mortar chronophile as well here from the grounds. We got 37 kills that Greyhound. 38 kills. He's trying to destroy the Ketnev, but so far none of the things are hitting it. Using rate tactics as well, got the Jagdpanzer moving hit. Needs to quickly shift targets away from. Oh, they got the Ketnev though. There you go, direct hit on the Jagdpanzer through the frontal armour. Greyhound they're taking a hit there from the Jagdpanzer. Need to fall back. He cannot withstand another shot. 38. Still. Need to fix up his armour there and vehicles. And then Kevin Wing getting a hit, and then Jackson needs to fall back. He needs infantry screen off against the assault. I mean, a perishable squad I think could help out a bit for Mr. Brosras. Fultz is almost getting obliterated here by the Greyhound. Jagdpanzer moving ahead here. Jackson down. Jackson down. And a Scot now for Brosras. That's an interesting choice here. But with that, Jackson's going to have a harder time here holding back Karl's armour, though the anti-tank does help. As long as he doesn't lose that. And we got infantry force officers then just swarming ahead here, taking up Brosras' infantry screen, meaning his anti-tank gun is going to be pretty exposed alongside his mortars. The double Greyhounds can help a bit. And there you go, Orbison moving ahead there. 20 kills. Still no doctrine from Karl. Greyhound rolling back. 40 kills in that Greyhound. 40 kills. That is insane. And there you go. Greyhound's rolling him straight to the Yak Panther and the Flak half track. Oh dear, Greyhound down. He lost the ace. One with over 40 kills. Other Greyhound down. Mortar getting wiped. Jackson almost there. But I think at this point, the dam is broken and Germany's flowing through like a tidal wave of Germany. Deutschland. And there's nothing Brosras now can do to stop this flood of the fatherland. Two's being pinned down here by the veteran few Flak after, which is barely operable, by the way. Jackson moving in, engaging the Panther head on, which is almost veteran free. Yak Panther should be able to deal with it. It's high velocity gun. Almost veteran 4 there on the Flak half track. We got air recons out here. Brosras to survey the situation here against Karl. And immediately gets shot down by the Flak half track, gaining veteran 4. Which actually makes the Flak half track even better since it gets more range with this. And penetration makes it harder there for Brosras to get close to it. And there you go, Brosras surrenders, realising he's squandered his chances. So a bit of a nasty fight here. Sadly, Karl never got around to choosing a doctrine. Feels a bit like a waste. And then again, like his doctrines never particularly fitted with his strategy. So I would say that plays a bit of a role in it. Like they just never worked with it. I mean, he probably bit off the Firestorm or Luftwaffe or something that actually provided more support for what Karl wanted to do. And that's often important. You actually choose the doctrine you actually fit into your playstyle. Rather than just ones you might choose, because I mean they're not going to be very good. As for Brosras, I mean, he had some good moments, but the problem was in partly just focusing too much in the centre. There's not enough harassment at times, not enough manoeuvre. Also, just Karl was very aggressive at times, and also, catching Brosras off guard. So Brosras struggled. Also, I'm not 100% sure again. Captain into recon support's best choice. I do think Lieutenant into recon support would have given much better choices, and I definitely feel like him not going for an airdrop combat group, getting some paratroopers was a mistake, as that really could have provided some more serious infantry threats to Karl and really sort of pushed him back. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed today's match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe to the friends, share it with everyone. If not, send in a reply and perhaps some feedback in the comment section. And this is Imperial Dancing. Cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye.